So it's been quite a mission. And then obviously I wrote a book about 4 or 5 years ago called The Code of the Matrix, which teaches you about language, shows you the keys and the codes within language in order to understand how that's programming your system. So here we go. All right, so what we're going to do first is we're going to get familiar with what kind of testing we're going to be doing here and what kind of devices we're going to be using. So this device here is actually your standard TDS or your actual testing meter. This meter is going to give us how many particles per million are actually in the water. This other device here is known as a HANA HI98121. For those people that are looking for it, it is an ORP tester. Excuse me, there's a screen right up here that I keep looking at. So if you're wondering why I'm looking over the camera, just realize that sometimes I forget. Okay, I'm looking at here. But anyway, so what this is that this is an ORP tester and a pH tester. It also tests the temperature of water, which won't be useful for us today. But what will be is the ORP testing and the pH testing. So let me go ahead and get this board. Actually, we won't even need it. I'm going to explain this ORP to you so that way it becomes very clear. Actually, yeah, let's go ahead and use it as a visual representation. Let me see if I could just zoom in just a little bit over there and turn it over here just a little bit. And there you go. So let me explain this to you of what ORP is and why it's so valuable for you to actually know what the ORP is of what you're consuming, because it has a lot to do with the fountain of youth. And here we go. ORP is oxygen reduction potential, okay? O-R-P. And I'm going to explain this simple. It actually works contrary to how we generally do our calculations about positive and negative. So that's the only thing to really catch on to here, that actually positive ORP is what you don't want, or the bad one. Negative ORP is actually what you want. That's the good one. And so let me explain it very briefly. What ORP is basically, it's how much is the element oxidizing. So to understand oxidation, apple when left out starts to turn brown. That is oxidation. It's basically getting older, right? So from there, what you're measuring with the positive ORP is how rapidly is it making something get older. Versus if you obviously have some negative ORP, that means it's not making it oxidize at all. And in fact, it may be hydrating it, replenishing it, regenerating it, okay? And so this is very important, especially for the test that we're about to conduct, because you're going to see something amazing. So just remember, positive ORP, which is like soda. We have some soda here. We're going to test it. And last time I checked, it was positive 400, okay? So it's very oxidizing, okay? And then while distilled water, I believe last time we checked, was also still oxidizing, but it was around 80. And then tap water 200. But we're going to go ahead and get some real figures here, and we're going to put those figures on the board. And then that's going to be your reference to knowing exactly which one of these waters contain what, and how you can determine, what's going to be the best water for you. And here we are. Okay, so what I bought today for us to do some testing with the different kind of waters is I've gotten some distilled water, which we have here. I have La Cocaína, and I have the big Berkey, which has some water in it, we're going to pour out. And then we're also going to grab some tap water. And then we're going to put them into the corresponding cups. Soda, tap water, distilled water, and we're going to use this as our cleaner.